Welcome, everybody. We are back live with another video content for you all. So, we're going to be talking about mediocrity, how people actually embrace it more than you may want them to. We're going to talk about how you're going to have to learn how to release people, if they are consistently showing that they embrace mediocrity in their lives and the importance of letting them go so that way you can go on with your greatness. All right. But before we get into that, make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you leave your comments down below, whether you are in the group chat or if you are in the live stream chat. I look forward to hear what you may have to say. And make sure that you leave if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe and click notification bell so the way that you are alerted each time there is a new video or new live stream that comes out here on this particular channel. So, what made me decide to talk about this? So, if you guys were on my community post, I gave a shout out to Q the Eclectic Tarot. You may see her at her, I guess, her hashtag or her at symbol, which is Eclectic Tarot Hoodoo of Cups. So this is somebody who I met on a channel, Nyla Vibes channel. We were and with I was directed to her channel, and I enjoyed everything that she does for her content involving spirituality. Certain things that she is able to do on her platform, and every now and then she does these particular readings. And so I was able to recently get to see to get some advice about what it is that I need to want to do for YouTube, the things I want to do for social media platform because I've been making the choice to pivot and redirect myself towards other avenue or another avenue. For those of you recently, I've been taking the time to redirect my platform towards productivity instead of hyper consumerism. So I talked with her, and she was telling me that I needed to take some time away to take a break. I don't know exactly that type of extended break that she was hoping for, but she was letting me know about the importance of needing to figure out, my own authentic way of trying to connect with people instead of figuring out what would be ideal to connect with them, on a particular platform, whether to get attention or, money or whatever the case may be. I've had plans, it wasn't a lie. No, I had plans to try to, make myself more well known, on social media, particularly with YouTube. But I'm doing it on platforms, and with talking about stuff that people would normally not be interested in. And so I've been really taking the time to figure out, what more that I could do to try to appeal to them. So it wasn't necessarily a lie. Um, but what also wasn't a lie was that I needed to take a break, and I really need to consider what it means to be authentic and what it means to um, live your life with authenticity. Not only authenticity, but integrity, because integrity and authenticity go hand in hand. And so, during the course of my break, I was on that Friday, and then over the course of the weekend, I was able to kind of like start paying attention to certain patterns I have, particularly when it comes to the people that I connect with, especially like patterns that have been lasting for like years and things like that. And one of the things that kept coming up was that I was connecting with people who made it perfectly clear that there were conditionings that were in their way, whether it was things that maybe traumatic or things that they had been regularly exposed to that um I was trying to change. And then I think even it goes with this platform of how I was trying to redirect to try to gain attention. I was so busy trying to connect with them in a way to try to change their minds or to try to connect with them that over the course of time, I didn't really take the time to see how much me trying to connect with them was also having a negative impact upon my life too. And it wasn't until um, that it wasn't until last night that I really had to start taking the time to start considering maybe people are perfectly fine with staying in stuck in situations, staying stagnant in certain situations that, even if you may come up with ways that may help them, either it may not be tangible enough for them to see it as a viable option, or maybe just some people just either like, or they only know the way that they know to connect with things in that particular way. And there's nothing that you could really do to help them. I also say this too. In light of, people are talking about the thing with Shirley Strawberry, her ex-husband, I think, because they're getting a divorce now, her ex-husband Ernesto, and a lot of these jail calls that are coming out. And, you know despite Shirley's, career path and what she's been able to make herself known for, all the years, the way she's been able to keep herself, her health and everything like that, there it's it's revealing that her relationship with Ernesto was a very toxic one that she is still holding on to, even at the expense of her daughter. Um, and so I thought about that because I know there's people who are, wanting to champion and want to see her win out of this, because for what we can see, this is something that is going to be a career costing move that she's going to do. But really taking the time to look at the Shirley Strawberry situation, and despite all the things that she's been able to do, she's able to be in a situation where, in her relationship, and this need to have a man, have the validation for a man, this is the area in which she is stagnant, um, and it's going to be really hard for her to really come out of it because she's still codependent on needing this man, to the point where it has cost her her money, um, her professional career, and maybe even the rest of her life. The rest of her life could be damaged from this forever. And so I wanted to take the time to say this. Um, there comes a time when you have to recognize that you can't help everybody. There comes a time when you have to recognize that people have made their choice, and there's only so much that you can do for people. There's only so much that you can hope for people. There's only so much that you can, believe for people, that you are willing to actually put yourself even at risk, or you may be wanting to champion for somebody to be a winner, and the path that they're showing you is that of a loser. There's a difference between being an underdog and a loser. An underdog is someone who may have little chance of winning, but they will do whatever it takes to try to win no matter what. When somebody is not doing all that they can to win, when somebody is not doing whatever they can to try to be the best they can be, to be at their greatest, to stick to things that they are comfortable with instead of actually growing as an individual, it's not an underdog. That is not an underdog. That is somebody who is choosing the path of mediocrity, and depending on what the situation is, being a loser. I mean, I hate to be blunt about it, but it is what it is. There's people who choose that path, or believe that there is no other path that they can choose but that. So they allow that to be the standpoint for the rest of my life, for the rest of their life, I should say. Um, for me, that's why I was talking about me. But for me, I really had to start recognizing that there were people in my life that I was trying to help and support and try to be there for as long as I could. But it was often being done at my expense, because there were so many things that creates an environment, or enables an environment for them to stay mediocre. And so I had to start making some decisions about um, who needed to stay and be in my life, and who and what I need to do from this point forward, as I'm starting to make some transitions. Um, and I guess I'll talk more about that in another video, where I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that. My own spiritual path. Some of you all have started seeing me with this satin cap recently. I'm going to talk more about that in a particular video, probably some type of chit chat video. But I really wanted to talk specifically about mediocrity, how people choose mediocrity. Listen, you all, you have to learn how to be comfortable with people choosing the path that they walk, even if it may not be the path that's for them, even if it's lesser. You have to be comfortable with people choosing where they are, even if um, you may want to save them. Um, Part of the problem with the savior complex is that it tries to put itself in a position to be in control of somebody else's life and the choices that they create. And you can't do that for people. Um, and even when you do that at the expense of your own freedom. This is why a lot of times people who have the savior complex, they will um put themselves in harm's way to ensure that other people are okay. And you have to pick and choose when to do that. Like that's part of the reason why you got to determine who is an underdog versus who is the loser, or somebody who may be defeated, or whatever the case may be, or somebody who just may be set on that particular path. Because if you're not aware of that, you can spend the rest of your life settling for less because somebody else is in a condition or in a state where they settle for less in life. That is very, very dangerous. That is very, very toxic, and it will cost you your life and your career. We're seeing that now. I think we've already seen it, honestly, when it comes to our with family members and our friends. We've been seeing it with celebrities, like even the situation that's going on with Shirley Strawberry and her ex-husband. The situations going on there. People people have to learn to be comfortable with letting people choose the life that they are living, even if it's not ideal. You can't keep spending your life focusing on the potential of somebody that you are missing out on what they actually are doing. Right? I remember watching a YouTuber, um, you know, before they really started taking off. That was one of the things that she said was, don't love the potential so much that you overlook the actual, or that you hate the actual. The reality is that no matter what that a person may hold, if they're not walking in that potential, if they're not walking into investing into that as their life's choice, or their career path, or whatever the case may be, you have to know when to let them go. It's kind of even right now, the phrase "know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away." You gotta know when to fold and to walk away. Because if you don't, their mediocrity will infect you, right? Their mediocrity, their path towards the lesser quality of life that they may not need to take, but they're taking, that can affect you too. And this goes to people who want to do whatever they can at all costs to help people. You got to know that when a cost becomes too great for you to keep investing into somebody, because it can harm you, right? So that's why I give the hashtag, let them go. If they are choosing the path that says that, you know this is where they're aiming to be, even if it's not ideal, you got to know when to say, you know what, in that case, I let you go. You don't have to give an ultimatum. You don't have to make them choose between following you and being great versus whatever it is they're doing. You don't have to be manipulative to make them see it. You have to know when to say, you know what, I release you. I still care about you. I still have my respects towards you, but I gotta let you go, because being in a relationship with you at this point is hurting me, and I don't want that to hurt. I don't want our relationship to suffer in this manner, because it will happen. So you have to keep in mind, some people love. I hate to say that, but it's kind of true. There are some people that love mediocrity because that's what they've been conditioned to love. There's some people who only know mediocrity because that's all that they've been exposed to. And if you aren't careful, if you aren't really skilled and equipped with how to handle that, that will affect your life. Um, to close on this, I remember somebody saying that there was an experiment done between a genius and an insane person, and locked them into a room together. By the time the experiment was over, the genius had turned insane because the person that was with him in the inside the room. For some reason, things that are of a lower nature have a way to really affect the quality and the mind state of a person. If you're not careful, somebody's lower state, somebody's lower quality of nature can affect you too, can infect you, and can cause you to be off course because of where they are. Don't allow that to be you. Okay. So, again, if it gets to a point where it's very clear to you that you need to let them go, learn to let them go so that way you won't have to settle um losing yourself and what somebody else is doing, and that you can start moving forward to where you need to be in life. There should never be a time when you sacrifice so much for yourself that your own greatness is lost trying to help somebody else be great. It should never happen. Don't allow that to be you. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Leave your comments below. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell each time that I'm able to present a new video. You'll be able to catch it. All right. So I'll catch you next time. See you later.